What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Blackwing deck profile featuring the new support, which is Blackwing Sharnga the Waning Moon. This deck is really nice now, and also you can play Assault Synchron. So this deck did change a lot. It used to be the kind of deck that you couldn't really play too well without playing a lot of bricks, such as, you know, the Phantom Knight cards and some other garbage cards like the Raid Raptors and everything, to the point where your deck isn't even like a Blackwing deck. And yeah, okay, sure, your deck has some nice Kali Yuga combos, but you have to play like 97 Garnets in order to achieve that. And I wasn't really down for that, so I decided to develop the most flawless, brickless Blackwing deck list, and I think I've managed to pull it off. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous, and today I will be explaining every single ratio, every single card decision, but before this video starts, you already know it. Friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button, thank you so much, and now let's get right into it. Alright, so I'll actually start with the hand traps first, because it actually makes more sense since I'm playing something that makes them, you know, kind of valuable to a certain extent. So 3 Magnamut, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, so 9 hand traps, and I'm also playing the Radiant Kaiju as another utility card, because Small World can actually allow me to search any Blackwing monster, revealing pretty much just about anything. So if I can reveal like a regular Blackwing monster, I bridge into the Radiant or the Assault Synchron, and then into the other Blackwing monster that I want. Or I can also bridge with the Bestial Magnamut or something, or Druid Worm. It's really up to you, it depends on your needs, but usually you're going to be searching for Simoon, and the Bestial monsters are already level 6 Darks, so they don't really work too well with Small World. Small World is a really complicated card, and you really have to cater your deck building around it, otherwise it's not going to work too well. And Radiant is a level 7 Dark, so it actually works wonders. So being able to have like 4 Kaijus in your deck, basically, when you're going second is really nice, especially in a format with like Kashtira. And if you're not playing against Kashtira, at least your Bestials are going to be relatively good against a few decks. So you're not, obviously you're not, you know, well equipped to beat the entire meta consistently, but you can definitely do well at like a regional level tournament with this deck, especially if you know what your opponents are doing and they have no idea what you're doing. And of course, if you win the dice roll, I want to say that's probably like a win that you're getting by default. Going first against Kashtira, if you summon Full Armor Master and you have like a Sharnga in your graveyard, there's pretty much no way they win. Their only out is like a Rise Heart with like the field spell, very specifically. Otherwise, they can't even get a monster with over 3k attack. And if they pass on nothing, well, you're obviously gonna win. And if they pass on something, all of their monsters are gonna be getting wedge counters. And then you can steal the monsters, you can destroy them on the end phase, you can do whatever you want, but yeah, it's a lot of pressure, honestly, this Full Armor Master. And even against Labyrinth and stuff like that, it's really, really good. Just decks in general are not really super well equipped to beat these kind of monsters this format. But yeah, now I'm going to be starting to explain the Blackwing monsters themselves. Alright, so the bread and butter combo is usually Simoon and any Blackwing monster. So that's the reason why this card is a 3. It's overpowered. Literally, if you can search this card consistently, you're always going to be able to put up a really big board. And this deck doesn't even lose that hard to Ash. As a matter of fact, it actually loses harder to MST or Cosmic Cyclone. I'm literally not joking. This deck loses really bad to these kind of cards. But Ash is not too bad, especially if you have like 2 Black Whirlwinds, because you still get like your first search, and then you still normal summon again, and then you get like multiple searches. So it doesn't really do anything to like stop your combo. It only kind of slows you down, but yeah, it's also not like Simoon itself can get ashed, but the Small World can get ashed. So, but yeah, Simoon definitely a must-have 3 of. And then I'm playing 1 Chris and 1 Bora. They're really bricky, actually, because they don't really do anything on their own. The only reason why they exist is because sometimes you want to surge them so that you can make a Force Strix and surge the missing piece for a combo, which is either the Suthri or the Shamal, because these monsters are honestly just vanillas. They do nothing on the board. They're just like relatively important extenders and utility actually for your combo enablers. And then the Zephyros, of course, this is a must in this deck. You're going to be foolishing it with the effect of Vata the Knave, and then you revive it back either by bouncing back your Black Whirlwind so it doesn't die during the end phase because of Simoon, or you can bounce back the Black Feather Whirlwind because it is a soft once per turn to revive back a monster whenever you special summon a Dark Synchro from your extra deck. And that way you can actually revive back a bunch of monsters and spam the board even more. So yeah, this card is really insane. Dual, you know, ability. And taking damage is irrelevant in this deck because the Black Wing the Dragon is going to sponge everything. So again, even during time, when time gets called on game 3, it's not like your deck is really losing to itself. If anything, you actually win in time because of Nothong. Now again, this is irrelevant and shouldn't change how you play the deck, but it's still some relatively important information to know. Anyways, one Shamal, so this card can send itself from the hand or field to the grave to place a Black Feather Whirlwind from your deck to the field, and also the graveyard effect is really relevant while it's already in the grave. When you summon a Blackwing Synchro or a Blackwinged Dragon monster from your extra deck, you can banish it and then recycle back a Blackwing from a grave, and then again take 700 damage, but that's irrelevant because of Blackwing Dragon, so this card is really fantastic. And then 3/3, this card has 2 effects, but only the first one is really relevant. So upon normal summon, very specifically, you get to search your deck for any card, very specifically, that mentions Blackwing Dragon from your deck to your hand. So this card can be searched, and then the Vata can be searched, the Black Feather Whirlwind can be searched, as well as the Trap card. But for the most part, the Legacy Blackwing monsters, they do not have Blackwing the Dragon in their card decks. And the second effect of Surgery is also not too bad. You can tribute a monster and then special summon a level 2 token that is not a Blackwing monster. Kind of an inconvenience, but it's not the end of the world. But unfortunately, you cannot special summon the monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this effect, except Synchro monsters, which does conflict with the few Xyz and Link monsters that you play, especially Wise Tricks and Force Tricks. So sometimes it's a little annoying, but being able to summon a level 2 tuner, especially when this is a level 4, allows you to go into Nothung and then extra normal summon another Blackwing so that you can get another search, as well as some additional Black Whirlwind searches, so it's still really important. Now I'm playing one Oster, the South Wind. This is insane as your follow-up play, but sometimes it's actually really good in your turn 1 as well, if you're banishing like a Zephyros, for example, with the effect of Simoon, because it's like kind of like a Blizzard, but instead of reviving back from the grave, it's revived back from the banish, so it's a good card for sure. And then one Harmattan, level 2 extender, doesn't really do too much. It gains level, but that's not even that important. The majority of the time, it's really just like a vanilla extender, honestly. One Assault Synchron, level 2 extender, it's a good bridge for Small World, and at least it does something. So if you're one of your Dragon Synchro monsters you control is either tributed or banished, can be relevant under you know, whatever, Nibiru, for example, or if it's actually banished by a card effect, you can banish Assault Synchron from the grave and then revive back that Dragon Synchro monster. Your only Dragon Synchro monsters are Bestial Dispatter, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, and, well, or Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, as well as Blackwing Dragon. So it's not like you have that many options, but still. And again, taking 700 damage, it has nothing to do with... it's actually like a Synchron monster, but again, you're not going to be taking damage thanks to Blackwing Dragon. So you actually can find a way to never take damage at all in this deck, and you remove all the counters, make your opponent lose a lot of attack, and inflict damage as well. So yeah, you can probably like burn to death, if anything, in this deck. But yeah, anyways, one Sharn guy, I already explained this card, really good. Chinook, it's not that good, but you should still play it because it's a level 2 non-tuner so that you can send in with the effect of Vata. Otherwise, there's nothing else to Foolish, right? And finally, the one Orochi the Squall. It's a level 1 tuner, so with Blackwing the Dragon, you can make Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Now, that's it for the monsters. For the spells, really obvious 3 Prosperity for consistency, 3 Small World, same reason, 3 Black Whirlwind, 1 Black Feather Whirlwind, 3 Infinite Impermanence, which I'll explain, and finally 1 Twin Shadow. Twin Shadow will usually always summon Blackwing Silverwing the Ascendant, but you can also choose to summon Full Armor Master in case you're playing against a deck that loses to it. Now for the extra deck, Bestial Dispatter, really good if you watched my combo video. Chaos Angel, unfortunately you can't really make it with a light attribute monster. That would have been really good, but it is what it is. 2 Full Armor Masters, insane. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, Draco Berserker. Can't really play Borload Savage Dragon really well in this deck. And you have to play level 8 Dark Monsters, so it's not like you can play like Omega, because you are locked under Dark Monsters because of Simoon. So yeah, Silverwind, Blackwing Dragon, Nothung, Wallow, Evil Swarm, Nightmare, I was gonna say Excite on Night, Force Tricks, Access Code, Dark, and finally Wise Tricks. Everything is Dark, so you can play Gozen, you can play Rivalry, because for the most part you're only really playing Winged Beast monsters. Yeah, this deck is actually really resourceful. And for the idea section, Dragoon, if you want to play Muddy Mud Dragon, Jesus, but you also need like another Dragon Effect monster. It can be like any Link 2 Dragon Effect, or it can also be like a Bestial monster, it doesn't really matter too much. And then Black-Winged Assault Dragon, it's ass, I don't really recommend it. Axel Synchro doesn't really come up, and you also need like Stardust Dragon Arrow to make it good. And it's only really good with multiple copies of Assault Synchron, otherwise it never comes up. Blackwing Obsidian Hogjo, complete dog shit because it's like a odd level monster, and the odd level tuner monsters in Blackwing are all like total garbage. Like Gale the Whirlwind used to be good like 15 years ago, but we're not in like 2010 anymore, so not even, unfortunately. Borea is ass, this I already explained. Appaloosa, Trisbania is really good if you can go first and like randomly find a way to like synchro summon on your opponent's turn, maybe using Twin Shadow, and then you can banish like your opponent's back row using the Trisbania, which is good against Labyrinth, for example. And then Unicorn with Masquerena, but too much space in the extra deck because might also require you to play Appaloosa and Underworld Goddess as well. And then Dark Ruler for going second, Cosmic Cyclone, Caught by the Grave, and I always said that this deck can play Rivalry and goes a match really well because you're pretty much only playing Dark Winged Beast monsters. Anyways, that's all I had for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.